The billionaire CEO sat at the head of the long obsidian conference table in his Manhattan penthouse office, the floor-to-ceiling windows framing the glittering New York skyline behind him. Anastasia Steele, known to everyone as Anna, a young intern still finding her footing in the cutthroat world of high finance, sat among the junior staff, trying to focus on the quarterly projections flashing on the massive screen. Boredom crept in like a slow fog, and without thinking, she pulled out her phone under the table. Her fingers danced across the screen, typing to the man she had been secretly messaging for months. Her online boyfriend, the one who made her heart race with every notification. She typed quickly she missed him terribly, asked if he missed her too, and when he did not reply instantly, she sent another, teasing him for ignoring her while she sat in this endless meeting, stealing moments to think of him. Just as she hit send on yet another message, a strange hush fell over the room. Anna glanced up, confused by the sudden stillness, and her blood ran cold. The massive projection screen at the front, meant to display spreadsheets and charts, now showed her boss's laptop desktop. And right there, unmistakable, was her own profile picture next to the familiar chat window. The last message glowed in bold the exact words she had just typed about missing him while stuck in this meeting. Time froze. Anna's heart slammed against her ribs. No way. It could not be that much of a coincidence. She forced herself to breathe, to keep her face neutral as the possessive alpha male at the head of the table, Damian Sterling, the obsessive billionaire CEO whose name alone commanded fear and desire in equal measure, allowed the faintest smirk to curve his perfect lips. He clicked out of the window with deliberate calm, as if nothing had happened, and continued the meeting in that low, commanding voice that sent shivers down every spine in the room. She's mine. Every breath she takes belongs to me. The rest of the meeting passed in a blur. When it finally ended, Anna's phone buzzed softly in her pocket. Not loud, but just enough for nearby colleagues to hear. Heads turned. Faces judged. Company policy demanded silent phones during meetings, and now everyone knew the intern had broken the rule. Heat flooded her cheeks, but she played it cool, slipping the device away as if it were nothing. Back at her desk, she opened the chat. The timestamp lined up perfectly with the meeting. His reply sat there, gentle yet firm. Be good, baby girl. I'm in a meeting too. Busy, but I miss you so much. Anna swallowed hard, her stomach twisting with nervous excitement and dread. All day work suffered. Her mind spun in circles, unable to focus. The manager noticed, of course. He always noticed when someone slacked. He dropped a thick file on her desk with a pointed look and told her to deliver it to the CEO's office personally. She did not want to go. Not now. Not when suspicion had taken root. But orders were orders. At the door to the sprawling corner office, walls of glass, Italian marble floors, custom furniture that screamed old money and new power. She took a steadying breath and knocked. Come in, came the deep, magnetic voice that haunted her dreams. Damian Sterling leaned back in his leather throne, dark eyes locking onto her the moment she stepped inside. The air smelled of expensive cedar and his signature scent, something dark, woody, intoxicating. He was breathtaking up close, sharp jawline, broad shoulders straining against a tailored black suit, the kind of ruthless beauty that made women weak and men wary. She placed the file on his desk. The manager asked me to bring this, sir. He nodded once, fingers tapping the polished surface. Leave it there. Relief flickered through her. Just as she turned to leave, his voice stopped her cold. Which department are you in? Her pulse spiked. Sales, sir. Anna. Anastasia Steele. He repeated her name slowly, savoring it, eyes darkening with something dangerous and possessive. There's a company gathering tonight. You should come. An intern invited to an executive event? Unheard of. Yet the way he said it left no room for refusal. She murmured agreement and fled. That night, alone in her modest apartment overlooking the city lights, she finally replied to his messages, apologizing for the late response, telling him not to work too hard, to eat properly. No reply came. Hours passed. Worry gnawed at her until sleep finally claimed her. She woke at 3 a.m. to a string of messages sent hours earlier. He had not slept either, had been at a business dinner, drank more than he should have. Then the ones that made her heart stop. Good girl. I want to see you so badly. Baby girl, I think I've had too much. I need you. The truth crystallized. Her online lover, the man who called her his good girl in the dark hours of the night, was Damian Sterling, her billionaire CEO boss. The possessive husband type, the obsessive alpha male every dark romance warned about. Touch her and die. Panic warred with a treacherous thrill. She typed and deleted a dozen replies before sending a cautious one asking why he drank so much. Then, bolder, she demanded a current selfie, just to be 100% sure. Minutes later, the photo arrived, white dress shirt unbuttoned at the throat, exposing sculpted collarbones, that devastating face staring straight into the camera. No doubt left. Damian Sterling. Another message followed, baby girl. When do we meet in person? She typed frantically that she had never agreed to meet, then, in a moment of cold fear, suggested they take a month apart to think. The second she hit send, regret and terror flooded her. His reply took agonizing minutes. Ongoing input dots appeared and vanished. Finally, if you need time to think, I'll give you that. But breaking up? No. You're mine. We belong to each other. Tell me what's wrong, little wife. I'll fix it. I can't be without you. Tears stung her eyes. She caved almost instantly, claiming she had been half asleep and emotional, promising she was forever his good girl. He forgave instantly, told her to sleep, reminded her he would always be there. She's mine to protect, mine to ruin, mine alone. The next morning, exhausted and shadowed under her eyes, Anna arrived late. The manager scolded her for an unfinished proposal. Colleagues whispered and stared. By afternoon, the news broke photos from the previous night's gala. Damian Sterling carrying a woman in his arms out of the venue had gone viral. The untouchable billionaire CEO caught in a scandal. But the real bomb dropped when the manager summoned her again. You're being transferred. Mr. Sterling needs a personal assistant. You'll work directly under him. Learn from the best. It's an opportunity, Anna. Don't waste it. She had no choice. Minutes later, she stood in his office again, bags in hand, reporting for duty. He barely looked up from his desk at first, cool and professional, explaining her responsibilities in that velvet dark voice. Yet every glance he gave her burned. Days blurred into a rhythm of luxury and tension. She arranged his schedule from the private jet to board meetings in his glass-walled penthouse, brewed his coffee exactly how he liked it, organized files while he watched her with predatory patience. Cartier bracelets appeared on her wrist for professionalism. A Van Cleef necklace rested against her throat because it suited her. He never touched her at work, not yet, but the air between them crackled. Late nights in the office, his hand would brush hers when passing documents. In the private elevator to his private rooftop helipad, he would crowd her against the wall without quite touching, murmuring, good girl, when she anticipated his needs perfectly. You're mine, baby girl. Every interview. The gala arrived. A custom gown was delivered to her apartment. Emerald silk that clung to every curve, slit high, neckline daring. She wore it because he had chosen it. At the venue, an opulent ballroom in a historic Manhattan hotel filled with society's elite, he stood like a king in black tuxedo, lazy yet lethal. She expected him to network, to ignore her except for work. Instead, the moment they stepped inside, his arms slid possessively around her waist. He leaned in, lips brushing her ear. No more pretending, little wife. I'm done hiding what's mine. Before she could protest, he kissed the sensitive spot just below her ear, light claiming. Then he guided her deeper into the room, her body pressed to his side, every eye in the place turning to stare at the untouchable Damian Sterling openly claiming a woman. A stunning woman in black approached him, all elegant lines and knowing smiles. Jealousy, sharp, unexpected, surged through Anna. Without thinking, she crossed the room, slid onto his lap in front of everyone, arms looping around his neck. Husband, she whispered, voice sweet and needy, take me home. Shock flashed across his handsome face. then pure male satisfaction. He laughed low, arms tightening around her like steel bands. Good girl. Let's go home. He carried her out right then, ignoring protocol, ignoring whispers. In the back of the waiting Maybach, rain drumming on the roof, he held her close, murmuring promises against her skin. She confessed a childhood memory, being caught in a storm years ago, and felt him still, something raw and vulnerable flickering behind his obsidian eyes. The next morning, scandal exploded across every gossip site. The ruthless billionaire CEO photographed carrying his mystery woman from the gala. Anna marched into his office in a panic, terrified of the fallout. He only smiled darkly, backed her against the door, caged her with his powerful arms. "You're afraid people will know you belong to me?" She stammered that she was ordinary, that he would lose face dating an intern. His expression turned thunderous. "Ordinary?" He gripped her chin gently but firmly, forcing her gaze to his. "You're mine to worship, mine to ruin, mine to marry." Then he kissed her, hard, punishing, claiming. The kind of kiss that branded soul deep. When he pulled back, voice rough with possession, "If you're worried about gossip, marry me. Be my wife in every way." Before she could answer, his assistant knocked. Some woman named Lou wanted to see him. Darkness flashed across Damien's face, but he softened when he looked back at Anna. "Wait for me, baby girl. Don't move." He left. She waited, heart pounding. Later, the woman found Anna instead. Beautiful, young, offering proof in a photograph that Damien had loved someone else for years, that Anna was merely a substitute. Anna studied the image, a younger girl, eerily familiar. Then realization hit. The photo was altered, an old picture of Anna herself as a child, the one from that rainy day years ago. She smiled sweetly at the jealous interloper. "That's me, sweetheart. He's always wanted me." Turning, she walked straight into Damien's waiting arms in the cafe lobby. He took her hand without a word, led her out into the rain-soaked city, apology and fierce devotion in every line of his body. Back in the penthouse that night. His penthouse, all dark luxury and red accents hinting at the private room he kept locked. He pulled her against him on the wide leather sofa overlooking the storm-lit skyline. "You waited," he murmured, lips brushing her throat. "Good girl." He punished her jealousy with slow, deliberate kisses down her neck, hands tearing silk from her shoulders with controlled violence, pressing her against the cool glass wall until she trembled. Later, in the marble bathroom steaming with heat, he claimed her under cascading water, possessive growls of mine echoing off the walls. On the private jet the following weekend, high above the clouds, he bound her wrists gently with a silk tie, his version of red ropes, whispering all the ways she belonged to him forever. "She's mine, my little wife, my good girl, pregnant with my heir one day soon. No one else will ever touch what's mine." And in the end, Anastasia Steele surrendered completely to the obsessive alpha male who had orchestrated their meeting years before, to the billionaire CEO who would burn the world down before letting her go. Their dark romance, enemies to lovers, forced proximity turned forced marriage, age gap and grumpy sunshine wrapped in luxury and danger, became the only truth either of them needed. He was her possessive husband. She was his to ruin, his to cherish, his forever.